Hello everyone, my name is Decker Link, the trained unprofessional, and welcome back to Major Minor. Oh my god, what the fuck do I do? I got people, who do I believe? Who the fuck do you believe? I don't even know, because I just edited the fucking episode before this one today, so I know that no one has had a chance to fucking tell me which route is better or not, which I wouldn't want, because I want to do this shit blind, so I don't fucking know, but, a lot of shit to digest, and even while I was editing the episode, I was like, I don't know which one to pick. Because I was like, my main thing is this. We don't know the innocence of the king or not. We know he's tied to the person with the ark, and they seem to have some sort of mysterious relationship that involves secret identities. So that implies deceit. Now, the righty here, the big muscly bear that everyone wanted to see more of, he has we've been warned not to trust him because he could lie. And one of the reasons why I was thinking of siding with righty was the fact that he has convinced Keela. But the problem is Keela is just as impressionable, if not more so, than I am, because when you're in a strange area and someone says to you, I know how to help you, you're inclined to believe them if you're not naturally paranoid. So I don't know. The thing is that same logic can be applied to Conrad and Endymion, because they're just as impressionable as Kira practically, because they've got no reason to not believe the king, and Keela's got no reason not to believe righty, and righty has warned that they could be lying and that the king is lying, whereas Conrad and Endymion have warned that that righty could be lying. I honestly have no fucking clue. But who do I believe? Who do I side with? The fucked up thing is that I don't know what. I honestly, even right now, do not know what the power I hold is. I know sort of about it based off of Art Guy's description, but I don't know what the fuck it is. The fact that I get to choose, though, means that one isn't going to be immediately wrong in what I would assume. Because if I get to choose, then it's just a branching path. And from my assessment, what I think would be best, Conrad and Endymion seem to be popular on a physical standpoint with the comments. But so does fucking righty. I don't know from what I've seen so far in the comments to know that if anyone is siding either way, which is infuriating, especially since this episode goes up after the episode before it, obviously, which has not gone out yet, so I don't know what the fuck the comments are saying on that one, but I am going to stand with righty and Keela for one big reason. I have the bullshit, if there is bullshit, stops with righty. The bullshit, if the bullshit lies with the king, then it goes to the king and Art Guy, and there's some sort of fuckery going on there. I don't know what that whole shit is, but it makes me think that there's something wrong with that situation. So I'm going to side with righty and Keela, and I hope to God it was the right choice, because if not, I'm sorry, I'm not going back and fixing it unless it kills me, and I have to go back and fix it. So I stand with you two, confirmed! Of course, it seems like the obvious choice. At least I tell myself this is as a method of reassurance. It wasn't in my nature to let someone starve in prison, even if it meant losing track of the reason I'm here. I might not learn what the king wants this way, but at least I know I'd be saving something. And Keela trusts righty. I should trust him too. I've got no reason to trust Keela, as I've known him for a day, and I don't think Keela's the type to be easily manipulated. You don't think that? I totally got that impression from him. But then another thought crossed my mind. If you suddenly found yourself in a strange world, you would likely trust the first person to help you. I even mentioned that. There's a point in time when you're impressionable. That's why I trusted Endymion and Conrad. Perhaps if they got Keela, he'd side with them too. I decided I should quickly drop this thought. It would do nothing but make me doubt my choice. However, bridges will definitely get burnt. I could possibly make Endymion and Conrad my enemy. I don't want that to happen, and it's just a fact. I asked Righty what our next step is, and I let him know my allegiance lies with them. Yeah, Righty will remember that.
Well, your choice makes me happy. I'm glad to know you've seen the truth. But for now, we simply have to wait.
This is really awesome! We get to be partners on Terra, too! I smile. Things are starting to take shape. The huge uncertainty I felt earlier now fades away.
I would advise you to go back upstairs. Go about your business as you see fit. But perhaps stay away from the assassins. In the meantime, I will talk with Keela. Our assault on Player's home needs planning. But know you've made the honorable choice.
Of course he has! That's what he's good at! How do you know that shit? Perhaps I'll come speak with you later. Who talks like that? But for now, I have to talk to Righty. He seems to want my input for some reason.
It's true, but you have a part to play. Pretend that you're still on their side. I will make sure to find you when we need you. Kalen will no longer suffer, and Velasquez's tyrannical reign will end. This is your true duty as the Savior.
Both of them walk away, leave me alone. I'm left to ponder the decision I just made. That, and the consequences might come with it. And what consequences? Various scenarios play out in my mind, some good, some horrific. They repeat as I make my way back upstairs. When I get back upstairs, I notice how loud it is. The tavern definitely became more lively since I left. This place is absolutely littered with patrons. They look incredibly happy amongst themselves. Much better than the faces I saw them wear earlier. At this moment, it seems that Terra doesn't need saving. Of course, that feeling was ephemeral, as most are. I realized that happiness is most likely found in the drink. That's why they call them spirits. Each of them holds an overflowing stein in their hands, and my fucking ass is hurting from the way I've been sitting in this fucking chair for so long. They seem to not care about how much they're spilling. I fucking would. Bar bills are fucking insane, dude. If you want to save money, never buy alcohol at a bar. That shit is overpriced. I try and figure out my next course of action. Righty suggested that I not talk to Endymion and Conrad. Of course, they'd find it odd if I ignored them, especially if I just came from talking to their enemy. Perhaps I should just go making small talk. I'll let them know Righty tried to sell stuff to me. I could see if they mention anything about their mail. If the box was empty, then Righty would be correct. Of course, that would be nothing to revel about. It would mean the fact that Kalen was in trouble. And not the kind of trouble we could ignore. But if anybody was equipped to rescue Kalen, it had to be Righty. He was both strong and smart. I'm just glad his goals align with mine. We wanted to learn the truth about Velasquez. Hey there, surprised to see all the people? I nod. People seem to forget what we are. At night, we turn into a watering hole. No immigration papers to be found. Not that it bothers me, of course. Everyone's on some journey of their own. We cater to every type of person. People who've come a long way to be here, or people who still have a long way to go. Anyways, I saw you go downstairs. You must have had a chat with Righty. I nod once more. He always has something to say, that one. Sometimes I think he's just bored. He sits around all day on his own. You want to come have a drink? Me and Fidget are about to sit down. There's something we should talk about. We have our own special table, so we don't have to wait for any vacancies. Points to a table near the corner of the tavern. I see Fidget sitting down. He's talking to himself. I sure can say sure. I don't have anything to lose. Great! Oh, one more thing. Why are you here? You drink for free. Well, shit, that's nice. He starts walking towards the table, and I follow. I wave to Endymion and Conrad as I pass them. I just want them to know that I'm not ignoring them. They wave back with a nervous look on their faces. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We arrive at the table. I promptly sit down. I yawn loudly and stretch my arms. Hopefully I can just relax for a while now. I haven't gotten to do much of that lately. Hey again, William. I sit there and wait for him to hold out his hand, but he doesn't do it this time. Interesting. So I heard you're the savior or something? that's why you're meeting Velasquez? That is so cool! I wish I was important like that. I haven't seen the king since I was little. I glance over at PB. So he's old Fidget then. And Damien and Conrad surely wanted to keep that a secret? I guess that PB is the type to talk. I'll need to keep that in mind for the future. Hey, don't look at me like that. Don't condemn me for telling Fidget. That's my best friend, you know. And besides, what kind of threat is he? It's not like he could ever hurt somebody. That's my brother. I trust him forever. Is he your best friend or your brother? This is an Edge and Christian situation. You gotta pick one, man. Also, I wanted to mention this. This is a cool thing I found. The person behind the design of Kalen, because Kalen, like a lot of other characters in this game, are actually people's OCs that won a chance to be in the game. Like the design, the name, and even personality traits were in the game. And the person behind Kalen commented on one of the videos saying, "Oh, I'm glad you didn't give my character a super feminine voice because someone thought they were a girl once," and stuff like that. So I was like, fuck yeah, I learned that made me appreciate this game so much more. To think that Clace, because a lot of people wanted to paint Clace as this like hated criticism and it's not good with communicating to others and all this other stuff, and I'm like, this guy apparently spent time learning about these people so that he could represent their characters correctly in his story. Literally could have just slapped their design on a character, made them do whatever the fuck he wanted, and it would have been fine. People would have been happy, some people might have been annoyed, but no one would have been mad. Man, though, that is so fucking cool. Some of the characters, had to be designed a certain way. So not all of the characters are that way, but apparently a good chunk of them are, and that really is fucking cool. So kudos to Clace, and shout out to Kalen, the person behind Kalen, and all the other characters if they're watching. I don't know, but that's fucking cool. I wanted to share that because that was so fucking cool to me. Fair enough, dropping for now. We had something to talk about, remember? I didn't take you over here to judge me. That's more like the PB I saw earlier. Easily angered and extremely defensive. Are you gonna let me talk to you or not? I surrender and apologize for derailing the subject. Thank you. So if we could get back on track, I need to talk to you about Riley. I know that you two talked in the cellar, and I'm pretty sure I know what happened. He hates King Velasquez with a passion. And this is one of the reasons I dislike Riley. That hatred totally clouds his judgment. Let me guess, wanted to expose the king, said he had some sort of evil plan. What? I nod. This was actually an apt summary. I'm gonna lay this right out there. Velasquez has never hurt anybody. We've only known peace under his reign. Well, except for I'll get there, Fidget. Just hold on. History of his rule goes back millennia. He's been nothing but altruistic. Of course, the victors write the history book, so I doubt that assessment. I know that Riley is strong and smart, but on that matter alone, he's biased. And I really have no idea why. Fidget and I owe Velasquez so much. I don't know why he hired those assassins, but I trust his judgment unconditionally. I guess PB doesn't know they always worked for him. He thinks that they're new to Velasquez's employ. I won't reveal this to him. It seems to be a secret. I wonder if their relationship had to do with this. Endymion and Conrad did mention that they were almost a trio. Perhaps Velasquez did something to make him back out. I think Righty mentioned some sort of litmus test. Hey, you there? Then PB snaps his fingers at to jerk me out of a reverie. I'm trying to talk to you here. It's rude to stop paying attention. He's right, and I apologize once more. This whole situation just gets more and more confusing. And I know whose side is the right, but I don't know whose side is the right side. Now, if you'll let me continue, Righty used to work for Velasquez. What? Really? And I don't mean casually or anything. Righty was Velasquez's go-to man. That's a surprise to me. I wonder what caused him to turn so drastically. There was an incident about 10 years ago. Me and Fidget were very young. Velasquez called it the Exodus Project. Exodus? Oh, Christ. I got a flashback. I got a flashback to doing audition stuff for Winds of Change. The Blade of Exodus. How many times did I have to fucking say that line? That name seems eerily familiar to me. I guess I need to explain Tara some more, or else the story ain't gonna make much sense. I forgot that you were new here for a bit. Tara is extremely open to immigration. We offer people a second chance on our soil, to start anew or to escape harm. But once they arrive, they're kinda stuck here. Leaving Tara is impossible. Impossible? That what makes it special. We're making something like a one-way street. Shit. Still better than your world, though. I heard that you have no open connections. I'm not sure how you even survive. That's a good question, actually. Anyway, back to the Exodus project. It was an attempt to open our connection. Velasquez wanted to let people leave. If people could come and go as they please, Terra would flourish for an eternity. No more overpopulation or famine. That and Velasquez could expand. No more would he just rule over Terra. He could rule over an entire galaxy for sure. Of course, it didn't go as planned. One look around could easily tell you that. It was a huge disaster. People died. Either way, either that or they got stranded in space. Our mother was one of those people. Oh, shit. Velasquez wanted only the smartest on Terra. Unfortunately, they suffered the most. We lost some of our key public figures. Of course you did! But we know our mom's out there. She'll come back one day. She has to. She was so smart. You know, there was a fucking genocide in Cambodia where they were trying to get rid of all the educated people to fucking make the population dumb so that they could fucking follow the leader. What was his fucking name? It was Pol Pot. I knew it was a weird name. So yeah, he targeted like students and teachers and public figures and all kind of the educated were the main people to go. So if the Exodus project was on purpose, very Pol Pot-ish. Is my fucking mouse on? Oh, thank God. Fidget exclaims with pride. She's smart enough to find her way back. I don't care how far she ended up. I'm being patient. I'll even wait forever. Roddy was close to our mom, you could say. He felt responsible for her disappearance, especially since he helped Velasquez out. Velasquez needed to fix his public image. He needed to show people that he cared. There was some heat on him after all this. So he funded the creation of our tavern and tasked Roddy with building it. About around 10 years ago, we weren't here. Wait, so Velasquez is the true owner of this tavern? And he got Roddy to build it from the ground up. That's a really impressive feat. I'm stunned. Velasquez wanted to create a landmark, and one of galactic proportions, I mean, so the people knew how to get back home. He wanted word of Terra to spread. He wanted everyone to know about the tavern, and eventually the lost ones would hear of it. And that's the reason we run this place. We hope that one day Mom will come back, that maybe she'll walk through that door. That's what keeps us going. With every second, she gets closer. She's gonna be so proud of me. I've grown really big since she left, and I'm learning to be good at chores. You're doing a great job, Fidget. That's what I wanted to tell you anyways. I don't think Velasquez is up to anything. At least, nothing like Roddy believes. At first, the scope of this place was clear, but over time, its reason was lost. Now we're just a plain bar and office. As this happened, Roddy changed too. He got less and less interested in waiting. Perhaps he lost hope, assuming Mom was... Hey, don't say that! It's not true! Sorry. So, Roddy has a few reasons to hate, but we don't know what the real one is. I try pressing him for it all the time, but he says he just can't tell me. Something about being a man of honor. But he never leaves the tavern or our side. I think he wants to make it up to us, even though I forgave him long ago. A man of honor, huh? Roddy said that earlier when we were in the cellar. When I asked him why he didn't become an assassin. Could that have something to do with all this? And the more time he spent here at the tavern, the more he hated King Velasquez. It grew and grew over a long period of time. And that's all there is to it, really. His hatred seems to transcend everything, no matter how good Velasquez has done. And that is a lot of good. I'm sure you can agree with me. I mean, just look at this tavern. Indeed, Velasquez seemed to be a very nice ruler. He owned up to and corrected his mistakes. With a tavern that we earlier called shoddily built, doing something like that is very noble. Definitely a mentality befitting that of a king. But now I'm conflicted even more. One side has an unmatched hatred for Velasquez, and the other has an unwavering loyalty. It seems even more impossible to choose a side now. Were Keel and I manipulated? Definitely. Was Riley and his gang a group of radicals? Probably. Or were Endymion and Conrad the radicals here? Both are. Both. Undying hatred, undying loyalty. Both are ignorance incarnate. Both are consequences of ignorance. Killing any opposition to Velasquez's twisted reign. I guess I would never know until the right time came. All I can do in my situation is wait and see. Let's put matters of the past aside. I have my own theory on the future. Whatever it takes to make you special, I think I know what Velasquez wants. He wants to helm another Exodus project. Whoa, really? You're being hailed as a savior. I have no doubt in my mind he used that term in the past as well. Before the first Exodus project, he promised that Terra would be saved. I'd say you have a long journey ahead. I guess it's only fitting you came here, the Wayfarer's Tavern, I mean. I hope your journey is swift and safe. I'd wish that too, although I did plan to detour. I hope that sighting with Righty didn't haunt me. I don't want to make an enemy of Velasquez. Nor do I want an enemy of Endymion and Conrad. I feel like that's missaid. I hope that we were able to save Kalen. It pains me to know that he's suffering. I decide to ask PB his thoughts on Lord Player. Well, some people don't like immigration. They think it's harming Terra irreparably. Lord Player is just one of those men. I can see where he's coming from, but he seeks a total severance. The Exodus project was more admirable. Life on an unconnected world? I'm not sure why Player wants that. It seems like that would be impossible. No offense, of course. I'm sure they made it work on Earth. None taken. In fact, Terra was odd for me. We just have some major cultural differences. Well, thanks for listening to me anyway. I didn't mean to talk for so long. I'll let you go back to your friends. When he says friends, he looks at Endymion and Conrad. I smile and thank him for the chat before leaving. I better not tell him that I just who I aligned myself with earlier. Wouldn't want him to spill the beans in that regard. Before I can get up to leave, Fidget calls to me. He grabs one of my hands to prevent me from leaving. I'm rather shocked. I didn't think you liked contact. William? He gulps as if extremely nervous. Do you think I'll ever see my mom again? Oh, God! I really miss her. His eyes seem very glossy, like tears are forming. The grip on my hand tightens, becoming intense. What should I say to him? I mean, I've got no reason to say that his mom won't ever show up. It seems like a pipe dream, but why the fuck would I just be like, no, your mom's dead, see ya. Like, fuck you. You'll see your mom again. Fuck yeah. I nod and smile at Fidget. I tell him that it's only a matter of time now. After this much waiting, she's bound to be close. Yes, I knew it. Thanks, William. This seems to be all he wanted to hear. He retracts his hand and sits silently next to PB. I guess this conversation's over for now. As soon as I stand up, I look towards the assassins. They seem to be deep in conversation amongst themselves. But I'm sure it involves me. But as I'm sure it involves me, I walk towards them. I know it was against Righty's suggestion, but I'm starting to feel some internal doubt. After a few moments of walking, I get to the table. They both look up at me swiftly with a look of worry. I wonder what's on their minds. I wait for them to break the silence. Well, aren't you making a lot of friends? Looks like you got quite the following. I'm not sure how to take that. Don't be so rude, Conrad. They're free to make friends as they want. I change the subject and ask if I've missed anything. Not much. Just our entire plan crumbling. Why don't you give him the bad news, Andy? Well, something came up just now. It appears we've reached a bit of a hiccup. Although it's not as bad as Conrad says. I handed in your papers just fine, but it was something else that alarmed me. Our mailbox appears to be empty. Just as Righty said it would be. I was hoping to find mail from Kalen, but it seems he hasn't found the time. This is a big red flag, and I'm worried. A boy of his skill, this should be no problem for him. Everyone said he was the best mercenary. Something bad has happened to him. That's what Endymion was trying to say. Not entirely, Conrad. Oh, I said that wrong. That's what Endymion was trying to say. Not entirely, Conrad. It's just a very small possibility. We shouldn't assume the worst-case scenario. Then that's where we disagree. The fact remains, we have no mail. Kalen is physically incapable of writing. I guess it is wishful thinking. He's not good enough for a prison break. His hands are probably tied up pretty bad. If anyone could do it, it'd be Kalen. And yet, here we are. It's quite scary. His resume was flawless and impeccable. Maybe someone tipped them off. It wouldn't be hard to increase security. It's possible, yes. But I still don't think Kalen is in danger. He's far too skilled to fail this mission. There's no real evidence of danger. Roadblocks happen all the time, Conrad. He's probably just rolling with the punches. Isn't the lack of mail evidence enough? Not entirely. Just a change of plans. If we stay the night, I'm sure we'll see. There may have just been a slight delay. Tots, we shouldn't jump to terrible conclusions. It's not wise to let anxiety think for you. We should both trust in Kalen's ability. I guess you're right. Our mailbox is empty for a reason, yes. But it's not because Kalen is in danger. Besides, attacking Claire is a bad idea. Breaking Kalen out would blow our cover. We can't let Claire know our true colors. You forget that we're undercover. We will fail our mission if we do that. That's true. So you really think Kalen is fine? I'd bet the entirety of our next pay on it. I'm sure we'll hear from him soon. I don't think he's failed a mission yet. They continue to debate while I listen. Some of their points are valid, but probably untrue. Of course, I can't say that in front of them. I have to remain as ambiguous as possible for now. The mailbox being empty, that was a huge sign. It solidifies the fact that Righty was correct. I take a huge sigh of relief. I made the right choice. It seems they don't know Kalen was spying on them. Or the king either, for that matter. That's how he got involved in all this to begin with. I doubt he'd disrupt the player rally otherwise. Well, what do you think, William? If you were in our shoes, I mean. Would you stand back and wait? Or would you try to rescue Kalen? This was an extremely complicated situation, even more so given the nature of my allegiance to Righty. I feel like I'm a double agent or something like that. I'm not sure what to say without exposing myself. I tried to discern the easiest course of action. Conrad was asking me for my opinion on what I would do, but I was drawing something less than a blank. I really can't talk about what Righty told me, nor can I tell them that I plan to go with him. I have to answer this in a way that fits my personality. Perhaps I could use the questionnaire to take my advantage? This would seem less suspicious to them. It would fit the answer if they were expecting internally. I said I was an attacker, didn't I? Yeah, I guess I did, yeah. That means I would be supportive of a rescue mission. As I actually was, of course, after talking to Righty. I feel like this is the best thing for me to say. This is interesting. It's like reading the answer I gave. I wouldn't want to come under any suspicion, so I tell them I'd be down to attack the player's home. Wait, are you siding with me? That's new. No one ever does that. I doubt Endymion will care, though. It was the answer I expected, but it doesn't influence our actions. No one said we were taking this to a vote. We'll never reach a conclusion tonight. We're going to have to sleep on it. I'll check our mailbox in the morning. I guess you're right. Where are we gonna sleep? We can't rent a room. We're flat broke. I took care of that earlier. PB added some rooms to our tab. But we'll be making more than enough. It'll be a pocket change after the Savior. As soon as we get them to Velasquez, I mean. Fair enough. Endymion pulls out a key from his pocket. He holds it out to me and smiles. Here, take this. Your room is number 23. I grab the key and put it in my pocket. My room number is 24. Conrad's is 22. we will both be the same distance away. Please call out for us if anything happens, or if you have any concerns at all. But for now, I would suggest you just relax. I'll stay up a little while longer myself. I'm sure Conrad will do the same. We will resume our planning tomorrow. I'll check on the mail as soon as I get up. Then we'll know that it was just delayed.
I'm afraid our luck is never that good. However, relaxing actually sounds great. And where I can get a massage here.
I take this as a golden opportunity. I have the ability to retreat to my room for the night. I'm sure that righty will come get me when I'm needed. Of course, I start to feel a little bad. Damien and Conrad care about my well-being. Enough to give me my own room, at least. It feels a little bit like I'm using them. I keep this conflict exclusively in my head. I don't show any signs of doubt as I leave the table. They wave to me as I walk away, and I return it. Conrad gives me a toothy grin as I walk away. I notice a bunch of doors on the second floor. They must all be rooms for rent. I look for room number 23, where I'll be staying. When I eventually find it, there's a drawing on it. It's a stick figure and a rabbit figure, holding hands. Aww! Both of the figures are smiling. If I'm a stick figure, does that mean I'm a human in this game? That's really cute. I look a little closer. It's signed by Fidget. I guess he views us as friends. I'm grateful. Given that this is my room, I must be the stick figure. I unlock the door and take a deep breath as I enter. Finally, I have some time to relax. I feel like this is a major victory. But all it really is the calm before the storm. Fade out. Another motherfucking fade out. Later that night, in the privacy of the wine cellar. What? Who are you? Have I seen you yet?
I have to say, I'm really glad you helped. Destroying the mail was a great idea. Now they'll attack Lord Player for sure. Or at least it'll make Righty do the same. Player's days are numbered either way. Thank you very much for your help. But about this savior in your midst, that was kept a secret even from me. It could be a great contingency plan. I didn't think you'd sell him out, though. How do you think they'd feel about that?
You sack of shit! I don't need you to lecture me, Riley. I'm old enough to make my own choices. You won't get a reaction out of me here.
Very well. You'll get your money soon. I'll have it delivered in a day or two. Perhaps you can buy Fidget a present.
Money? We didn't do this for money, Riley. You said you had information about Mother.
I did? You must be mistaken, PB. Get things written down in the future, and ensures you won't get cheated. You bastard! Now, I didn't say you wouldn't get it. You just want information about your mom, huh? Then I have another task you can do for me.
Not yet. I'm not finished with this. Why do you want Lord Player on a hit list? I thought he was your boss, your friend. Oh, I probably have seen this motherfucker before. I'm just giving a whole new voice.
Of course he's not my friend. You're right about him being my boss, though. But I hate that man. He's a stepping stone. He's snagging up all the votes for me. While he's gone, I'll take his campaign. And then the Kingstone will be mine. And if he's killed by Righty, or even if the assassins get him, more reason to have them all executed.
Thoughts? What's the next task, in order to learn about my mother?
I'll tell you soon enough, PB. As I mentioned, I have a contingency plan. So if you'll excuse me, I'll be in touch.
Dots? I don't like this at all. He lied to us, PB. Yeah, he did. He probably doesn't know anything about Mom. I bet he was just using us for his benefit. Yeah, he was. Don't worry, Fidget. He'll get what's coming to him. Really? You think so? Yeah, evil men always do. What the fuck is going on? We have double crosses and shit going. I'm so confused. Anyway, thank you all very much for watching this episode of Major Minor. On the next one, you know, we're this many episodes in and I still don't know what the fuck is going on in this game. All I know is that shit's complicated. That's the fucking... That's the closest I'm getting to a fucking answer. So thank you all very much for watching this episode of Major Minor. On the next one, we'll see what the fuck goes on in this crazy town. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, I have been the trained unprofessional, speaking for the voices in my head when I say until next time.